Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Kyle Melanson. I DJ and produce under the name Osick. I'm going to give you a tutorial today from one of my new songs coming out, Teeth. I did a drum and bass patch from Massive. The modulation matched exactly what I was trying to do. That's a little loud. Let me turn it down for you. It's a preview of the sound that we're going to make. I used a little lower semitone for my actual track. We'll go ahead and open up, start a new patch in Massive. This is the Massive synthesizer. For my oscillator 1, I used Deep Throat, turn the wavetable position all the way down and the intensity to about 2:30, 2 o'clock. I'm going to bring down the actual pitch a whole octave. Turn on oscillator 2, and I'm going to use Modern Talking. I know everyone's going to give me shit about using that, but it sounded awesome, so I'm going to turn this down an octave as well. Change the wavetable position all the way to the left again. Make sure oscillator 3 is on, and I'm going to use Gentle Speech for my final oscillator. Turn it to bend mode, bend minus, and put it to about 10:30, 11 o'clock, intensity all the way up. Bring it down an octave. I'm going to leave all the filter positions to the middle, so it's not all going into filter 1, which I'm going to change to a scream filter. Turn the cutoff up. Gonna move the scream down a little bit. We're going to take the resonance all the way down for this one. Move the mix in between 1 and 2. You're not even going to use filter 2, so it doesn't really matter. For the LFO that I'm using to modulate this synth, go ahead and put it to fixed ratio and down to 1. I changed the curve to bending 1. Just sounded really nice for what I wanted to do. After you do that, make sure that you have everything else, the curve fade all the way up so that it's only modulating from that. In my master envelope, let it just build all the way up so the sustain is going. I'm going to add an LFO to my wavetable position for oscillator 1 and turn it up to pointing to where the in is. And same thing with Modern Talking, but I'm going to modulate a little bit more to get more of that vocal effect. We're going to not use the noise oscillator, but we're going to use the feedback in this. Turn it up a little bit past the post A. We're going to use both inserts for this. So I used Hard Clipper for my first insert. Turn the dry wet down a little bit, and drive down a little bit as well. It's just pretty much distortion added to it, give it a little crunchiness, and then a frequency shifter, and turn the pitch up a little bit, but the dry and wet down. And that's what we have so far. It's sounding pretty good, but we're going to add a little bit more. Make sure that your insert 2 is there in the routing position. You'll get a better sound with it routed there. You can turn the voices up if you'd like, but personally, it just sounded too distorted for me. Put it back to 1, and then you're not going to change anything in the oscillator tab. And go up to our effects, and I used a classic tube, and didn't really do much with either the dry, wet, or drive. I'm going to add a dimension expander and effects 2 just to give it a little more size. It's sounding pretty nice. Go ahead and give it a little higher shelf, a little bit more boost and low shelf. and that'll really change the rate that you have the vocal effect happening. Gonna go ahead and open up the project Teeth that's gonna be coming out in about 3 weeks. I still have to send it out, but that's the song that I used this actual patch in, and I was used for a really nice drum and bass, almost jungle type breakdown for the song that I had. And it worked really nicely. This stupid Ableton will overload. While this is loading, go ahead and tell you that I'm going to be doing tutorials for most of my songs. So here we go. About synths that people thought were interesting and would like to know more about. And this is the actual part of the song that I used this particular patch for. Added a couple of external plugins as well. I modulated the cutoff of the scream filter with the LFO, and I turned up the high frequency boost and low shelf. Turned down the dimension expander to compensate for that, and then added a couple of plugins after, some compression. That's pretty much the part that I used it for. I'll go ahead and I have a downsampled version of the actual patch by itself, and that I'll go ahead and play for you. Okay, and that'll pretty much do it. If you guys like this video, please like it, support me, and check out my Facebook. Cheers.